Today's episode of Desertwood Days with Kathy Blaze is sponsored by Movie Group, founder of the Dream Network channel. Learn more at dreamnetworkchannel.com.
I wanna visit all the places nobody goes. I wanna teach all the things that nobody knows. I wanna grow wings, leave the coop, learn to fly. Bungee jump from the tallest building in Dubai. I wanna fly around town in my UFO. I wanna eat real food, not the GMOs. I wanna make moves, call the shots like the boss. I wanna love like I never lost.
Welcome back to Desertwood Days. Today we have a very interesting guest for you. He's a filmmaker and a writer, Mr. Brian Ronalds. Hello there.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
I get a hug today.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Likewise.
Yes, it's been feels like a long time.
Right?
Yes.
It's been a minute.
Yes, I met you at the Phoenix Film Festival here.
That's right.
And you guys were premiering one of your films.
Mm-hmm.
And was it?
It was called To Be Blunt.
To Be Blunt. I didn't want to say the wrong name.
Yeah.
We promote somebody else's film. Wonderful. So how did that go for you?
It's going good. We have been in probably a dozen film festivals throughout the country. Well, throughout the world, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's getting ready to come out to Amazon Prime within the next 30 days. So we're excited about
wonderful.
that. It has, it's a great story about an Arizona roofer who helped organize the marijuana industry here
Okay.
in Arizona, and his story and his journey. And he was able to get Cheech and Chong to
That's
come
what I was
in
going
and
to
do.
ask
Yeah,
if I can remember right.
That's right.
Cheech and Chong was a part of that also. That's amazing.
it was fun. Yeah, it was a good time. So we're looking
Right.
forward to that. And then we just had the last day of the rest of my life, which was called the Mass Shooting Monologues, come to Apple TV in May.
Okay.
So you can check that out. It's about a high school mass shooting as a result of being bullied.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
That's
wrote
a
in my
hot
way.
topic right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very hot topic. It's been something on my mind, and being a graduate of Columbine High School, it's been a wild ride throughout these crazy.
So where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Los Angeles,
Okay.
but I grew up in Denver, Littleton, Colorado,
Okay.
from 7th grade all the way through college.
Okay.
Yeah, and I went to UNC and snagged a degree in English.
Okay.
Yep, and went on my way.
Okay, that is awesome. Now you're back here in Arizona with us.
Mhm.
Welcome here to Arizona.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing all that you and your wife
Mhm.
will be putting out for us here in Arizona to make us proud.
Oh man, I love Arizona. Arizona's been so dear and sweet to us, and to my former partner, my brother Dean. We shot 3 or 4 feature films out here.
Wonderful.
Nether Beast Incorporated.
And I'm going to stop you right there.
Oh, okay.
Because I want to go back a little bit before we
All right.
get there. You're getting ahead of me.
Okay, sorry.
Trying to take over my show here. I like to ask this question. I want to know about the young Brian. What was that young man like? What was it that got him into the filmmaking industry?
I don't know. I think that the furthest back that I can remember is being in Albuquerque, New Mexico. My dad had moved around, I think 2 or 3 times. He's a salesperson, ended up retiring in Denver. But I was, eating lunch alone in the kitchen, and I was talking to the walls as if they were cameras.
Oh.
Either I was crazy or no, I wanted to be on TV, so I was pretending. Like I was on television inside my kitchen trying to be funny. And
Well, if you think back, when we were kids, most shows, the people were always in the kitchen. They
Right?
were
It's
always
true.
in the kitchen.
Yep. Yeah, like Fresh Prince. That's like where the whole show was, right?
Right.
In the kitchen, or Facts of Life.
Facts of Life. But even some of the older shows, they were always in the kitchen. I
Mhm.
mean, Archie Bunker.
Archie Bunker. Oh,
we're,
yeah.
we're aging ourselves going back to those old ones. But
Laverne and Shirley, or Happy
yes,
Days.
they were always in the kitchen, so I can see that.
Yeah, and then I just started doing school musicals.
Oh, okay.
My first role, I was a chipmunk
Oh,
in a like a Catholic school, and it was my first solo that I got to sing a whole song by myself in front of the audience. And I can remember there was cast A and cast B, and I was in cast B, and I realized that cast A had more people coming because it was better times and better days.
okay.
And I found out that the person who was in cast A with the chipmunk role, that she was sick. So I called her on the phone and I said, "Hey, are you going to be able to, I was just trying to feel it out, because I'm like, I got you covered if you need a
tried to
hand."
take
And
her role.
Yeah. She's like, "I'm fine. Thanks for asking." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Okay,
thanks for
all right,
asking. I
all
know
right."
what you're up to. So you were doing the stage plays back then, but what moved you into being behind the camera?
Gosh, so doing stage plays for many, many years throughout high school into college. Then I ended up getting an agent in Denver where I started doing commercials.
Oh, okay.
And then went to college, earned my BA in English as a creative writer.
Oh.
And while I was doing that, my brother went to film school
Okay.
in Denver. And after I graduated college, I went into sales
Mm.
and was successful at it. And my brother said, "Well, gosh, hey, you could sell ice to Eskimos. So I'm learning how to edit and direct. Why don't you go find us some money, and we'll put ourselves in some short films?"
Oh.
Because he was an actor too.
Oh, okay.
But the more and more short films that we did, the more we realized we liked to be behind the camera instead of in front of the camera. So, the first the short film that we made for the least amount of money and the least amount of time ended up being extended into a feature film that was made for a little under $1 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
That's Nether Beast Incorporated, and it's starring Daryl Hammond from Saturday Night Live. Judd Nelson was our bad guy from Breakfast Club and St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh, okay.
Steve from Blue's Clues was the main character. We got Robert Wagner in the film.
Wow.
We got Jason Mewes from Jay and Silent Bob. It was a hell of a lot of fun.
And when was this one produced?
Gosh, that was 2006, I think.
2006.
Yeah. And then we went and did The Graves after that, which was a horror film directed by Brian Pulido. And I even think you guys had our director of cinematography, Adam Goldfein,
Yes, we
on
did.
the show here. Yeah.
Yes, we did. Yes.
So he did a great job. He's amazing, creative.
So you guys went from the one film feature to another feature.
We did.
Okay.
We
You
did.
guys were on fire.
It started taking off. It was really exciting for us and great times.
So what took you? What was it that took you to horror?
Well, I'm a huge horror buff, and I actually was just talking to my wife Michelle, who's my partner in writing
Okay.
our latest projects, about that. Like, I cannot die without writing and directing my own horror movie, because that's kind of what I grew up on, and it's what I love to watch, and I love that horror genre. I love the fans.
Yeah. Well,
But
you're in the right place for it, because Arizona people love horror flicks out here.
yeah,
Yes, they do.
yeah, we had some great talent too.
Yeah.
We had Claire Grant, Seth Green's wife, Jillian Murray, and then my favorite is Tony Todd. Played one of the bad guys. He's the original Candyman. And
Oh
then,
my goodness.
And then Bill Moseley, who's the star of almost all of Rob Zombie movies. And then I got the first Freddy murdered person in the original Nightmare on Elm Street, Amanda Wyss. She played, who did she play? I forget the character's name, but it was awesome to have all those people on the set together.
That's awesome. I just watched that Candyman 2 not a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not a huge horror person, but I will watch them.
Yeah.
There's specific ones that I'll watch.
Totally.
Yes. So that was different. It was different.
Was it the remake?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
it
It's
was
totally
Candyman
different.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was totally different. But it was different. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we left Arizona and we moved to Los Angeles. We were actually going back and forth for about 2 years. We'd fly from Arizona to Los Angeles. When I mean we, me and my brother,
Okay.
the Ronalds brothers.
Okay.
And we'd
So
start
is
making.
that what you guys are known for, the Ronalds brothers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but then we parted ways and started making different things like 10 years later.
Oh, okay.
But we made, I think, 4 or 5 feature films together and probably 25 short films,
Wow.
and wrote for Tyler Perry, Meet the Browns together in
Okay.
Atlanta.
That is awesome. That
Yeah.
is awesome. So you created the first feature, then you created the horror flick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you just started going. You mentioned that you had worked with Tyler Perry on some things.
Mhm.
Are you able to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we developed, I'm going to go way back here. We developed a relationship with Robert Wagner.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember him from Heart to
Yes,
Heart,
yes.
and he's number 2 in Austin Powers. And he had done a short film for us that we shot in 35 millimeter called Little Victim.
Oh.
Him and Laurie Singer from the original Footloose was in that picture. And he was like a grandfather to us, so he introduced us to his manager, Chuck Binder,
Oh,
in Hollywood, who manages Sharon Stone,
wow.
Daryl Hannah, Michael Madsen. And my brother and I went up into the Hollywood Hills and met with Mr. Binder, and we hit it off. And the next thing we know, we get a telephone call saying, hey, Tyler Perry's group wants to meet with you guys and have you write, so can you please send some samples in? So we sent some samples in. It was for the show Meet the Browns, Tyler Perry, Meet the Browns. And next thing we know, we're meeting with the executive producers there. And a week later, we were flown out to Atlanta, where
Wow.
Tyler Perry Studios was, or is now, flourishing. And we got to be a part of the team on season 2 of Meet the Browns.
Wonderful.
And it was very, very fun.
We love Meet the Browns in my household.
Yeah? Oh, it's great.
Yes.
He's funny. Yeah.
He is fun. You know what? I love all Tyler Perry's shows. I can't tell you not one that I don't like. I love them all.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. I have a funny story. My brother and I we were all pitching ideas for different shows, and my brother and I were pitching 2 or 3 ideas for episodes, and we crack ourselves up sometimes. So we're like laughing, and then Tyler says, "Ronalds brothers, you guys think you're really funny, don't you?" All serious, and then and it's kind of scary a little bit, a little intimidating. And then I just said, "Well, that's why you hired us." And
That was a good response
there.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool.
You've done so much in the film industry, but you're also an author. You've written some books. Can you tell
Yeah.
a little bit about your new book?
Absolutely. So I was previously married for 17 years,
Oh, okay.
going through a divorce, and I wanted to share my experiences on how not to be, an a-hole husband and lose your wife, and how not to be an a-hole wife and lose your husband. And
I love that you flipped and went to both sides
I
instead
did.
of just this is how you not be an a-hole as a husband or a wife.
Right.
I love that you shared both
Perspectives,
sides.
yeah.
Yes.
So I wrote those, and I wrote the male version first, How Not to Be an A-Hole Husband, and it was quite successful, still is. And then I thought, well, you know what? It's not fair for the wife to bring home that book to her husband without her bringing one home for herself too.
Right.
So that's when I went on the journey of on the other side of How Not to Be an A-Hole Wife and Lose Your Husband.
That's
And then I
right.
made the I wrote 2 more books after that, the girlfriend-boyfriend versions. And now I am.
You need to throw in there how not to be an a-hole child to your parents.
I've got probably 70 ideas.
Okay.
Yeah, the one I'm currently writing right now is how not to be an a-hole boss and lose your employees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because and then the one that matches up with that one is how not to be an a-hole employee and lose your job. So
I love that.
yeah,
I
it's
love that.
these books have been great for me.
So is this information coming from life experiences?
It is. It absolutely is. And this new one, How Not to Be an A-Hole Boss and Lose Your Employees, is it's pretty personal. But so is they all are pretty personal. and I don't mention names or
Right,
point fingers,
right.
but they're kind, loving, encouraging, and crass.
Okay.
So I don't hold back, and I don't pull any punches.
Right. And you have to have all those areas in order for it to really mean something and for people to take something from it. I mean, if you're just going to be just an a-hole in the whole book, how's that going to benefit me?
Yeah, no.
I'm already a-hole, so how's that going to benefit me?
Well, if you pick up the book, that means you realize that there's a time for change.
Right.
So if someone's giving you the book or you picked up the book, whether it be any of the 6 that I'm doing right now, then you're having a change of heart and you want to change as a person. You want to be a better person and treat others the way you want to be treated.
And that's what it's all about.
Yep.
It's about change.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people are afraid of change, but change is good.
I 100%.
That's really good. And you have a new wife, beautiful Michelle.
Yes. I got remarried 2 years ago. Bought a house here in Arizona. And we have 4 children together. We have a 24-year-old Paige, 19-year-old Leaf, 17-year-old Thane, and 16-year-old Logan.
Okay.
Yeah, we got it's never a dull moment at our house.
I'm sure. And Michelle is also she works with you in the industry also, doesn't she?
Oh yeah, she's a brilliant writer, and even more of a brilliant actress. She just had a movie come out called Scare Us, done by the Weichert family here in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
It's doing quite well.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an excellent horror movie.
Is that Jason?
It is Jason,
Okay. I haven't seen Jason forever.
yeah.
I think he moved away to California for a while, I believe.
I'm not too sure. We were celebrating their new child a few months back over at their home. So
I haven't seen him forever.
Yeah, they're doing great.
You know what? It's amazing. I tell people I've been in this industry so long. I feel like this old lady. And it's just the amount of people that's been doing this work for so long and all the great content that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just amazing. Yourself, like Jason and his wife. I mean, we've had so much talent here on the show. And I love that people like you are able to come here and share your work with others and show them that, you know what, you don't have to be a Tyler Perry to do what you did.
It's true.
I mean,
you don't have to live in Hollywood to make movies. Yeah.
Right. You're here in Arizona
Yep.
and you're still doing so much work. I mean, you can be here in Arizona and work with someone, say a Tyler Perry in Atlanta or in Hollywood. So what advice would you give to someone looking at what you're doing? What would you tell them?
Well, gosh, I've mentored film students before, and I just tell them my biggest advice is if you start something, finish it. That's the first and foremost thing that I mention. So if you start it and you get into it and you're editing it and you're like, oh my God, this is crap, make your crap. Because it's only going to get better.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And because that's the thing, that there's been so much work that just got canned. And the thing is, you got so many other people that was a part of it, and they're frustrated that it got canned because maybe this one person thinks it's crap.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of wasted money, a lot of wasted time.
Any new projects coming up that you'd like to share with us before we get going?
Sure. Michelle and I have written a thriller drama that we're looking forward to. It's completely written. We've done a table read. We're just looking right now for the perfect executive producers, and then we've written a horror comedy that is very interesting. I think that people will really enjoy. And hopefully after that, I've been watching horror movies so much lately to try to educate myself so I can write something different. Because it's saturated as far as that genre is concerned, and I want to just do something different that really scares the hell out of you.
So, would you do a combination? Sometimes it's either I'm doing a comedy or I'm doing a horror, or is there a combining that would make something really spectacular?
Well, I would say Nether Beast Incorporated our first film is a horror comedy.
Oh, okay.
It's about vampires in the office place.
Okay.
It's great. It's you can find it anywhere. It's on Amazon Prime. It's on all the video on demand websites and stuff like
Wonderful.
that.
You have one of your films that's going to be on Prime pretty soon, don't you?
Yeah, To Be Blunt.
To Be Blunt.
Yeah, we'll be on Prime, and then the last day of the rest of my life. They just renamed it because the Mass Shooting Monologues was the original title of this film that Michelle and I wrote, but we couldn't sell it with that title, so they changed the title. But that is on Apple TV right now.
Oh, okay.
And again, that's the story of mass shooting at a high school due to as a result of being bullied.
Right.
So we kind of tell the other side of the story.
So, Brian, where can our audience find you?
You can find me at the real producer Bry on Instagram, or you can go to www.4411productions, all spelled out, .com, and that's where you can see all of our latest and greatest.
Awesome. It was such a pleasure to have you here today, and we look forward to so much from you this year.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. All right.
And thank you for joining us, and we will catch you next time on Desertwood Days.
Today's episode of Desertwood Days with Kathy Blaze was sponsored by Movie Group. Visit them at dreamnetworkchannel.com.